What's this week been like for you?
Yeah, it's been fun, the little adversity, but it's another challenge, and just like any other week in this business here, there's always different challenges. Last week we had some. This week we got a little bit different challenges. So it's been fun, and we're working our butts off to make sure we can get everybody the best chance to have some success this week.
So what's your first reaction when you hear that Aaron Rodgers is tested positive for COVID and is not going to be playing this week?
Just that my first reaction was I hope he's all right. I know this virus has done stuff to people, so that's the first thing. Is just want to make sure that he comes out of this thing, feeling great. Next thing is just immediately went to Jordan. I'm glad he's had enough time to prepare. I'm glad it's right now compared to a year ago. I'm glad it's a little bit deeper into the season than even in the beginning of the season. I think he's got a lot of really good reps. I think he's in a really good place mentally. So, I'm grateful for the time that we've able to be, have this guy prepared for this opportunity.
Is there any emotional reaction to that, though? Because it was shocking to see, and then at least from the outside.
No, yeah. My emotions were honestly more on a personal level, to be totally honest with you. You probably, most of the guys here know I'm not too much of a high and low guy, and I'm pretty, try to stay positive all the time. And like I said, most of my emotions were really just on a personal side. Making sure and hoping that everything goes well for him personally.
Sorry about that. I understand his situation is private, and I'm not asking him from a prying perspective. But have you talked to him, and is he, like everyone's talking about what he said or what he didn't say, is he doing okay, like as far as you know from talking to him?
Health-wise, or are you saying like?
Health. Well, I guess emotionally too, but I meant specifically health-wise.
No, yeah, he's a brilliant person. He's as good as it comes. He's as good as it gets, man. And I wouldn't just say that just to say that. So he'll be fine. And like I said, my focus for him is going to be purely on his health and making sure that he's good to go at the end. He can get through this thing great. All my conversations with him have been just about that and making sure that he's, I have not gotten into any of those conversations with him about any of that other stuff at all. So.
Right, and that's all, I'm just asking and talking with him if he seems to be feeling okay, because there are people that have gotten really sick from this.
No, yeah, sure. Yeah, I think all signs, well, it's probably too early to even tell, really, to be honest with you, how this thing goes. So we'll let him talk about that with you guys whenever he gets back in the building.
Luke, with this, bank of reps that Jordan's built up, basically since April, where do you think he's improved the most, as a quarterback from where you saw him to where he came out of training camp?
The comfortability with the guys, Lucas there was a point in practice when Lucas came up to him and was just super excited with the way he was handling the calls in the huddle and the cadence and changing stuff at the line of scrimmage. So I think all that stuff, just his comfortability with all those guys in our system. Man, I can't tell you how far along this guy's come from a year ago this time, and even from training camp this time. We put a lot of stress on our defense at practice, and our guys, we try to use our calls, we try to make our plays similar to what the other team is doing. So as Jordan's running these scout team reps, his communication at the line of scrimmage is what our communication is. His adjustments are what our adjustments are. So he's gotten 8 or 9 weeks now of those reps and those opportunities. So that's why he jumped in there, and it was it was pretty seamless.
Luke, do you guys grind till 1 o'clock in the morning with Jordan, or do you prefer to just do it the normal way it would be for Aaron?
Wouldn't say the normal way with Aaron. I think you're dealing with two different people, so there's going to be a different style of communication. Aaron has a lot more input or communication in it that matters. So where Jordan's going to need a little bit more direction. So it's not the same, but yeah, the intensity, the focus, and how our approach, all that stuff. There's no reason to go in a whole nother direction just because it's a different guy. There's a routine that he's accustomed to each week too, and we want to make sure that all of that stays the same too. So yeah, there's a little bit more on his plate, obviously, in the learning part of it and the communication part of it, and some conversations that you'll have even over the phone or FaceTime or whatever. But nothing that's like outrageous. I mean, we do a great job here of putting great plans together through the night, and then that way when we come in the morning, everything is really good and concise and clear communication for the players, so we can go out and have a great day of practice. So we put the stress on ourselves, I think, more than anything else.
We're not going to get to talk to you next week. If Aaron's not back until November 13th, the Saturday before the Seahawks game, is it possible for him to play in that game, given the position, how important it is to everyone else on the field? Is that something he could do from that position?
I mean, I haven't put any thought into that, but if there's anybody that can, it would be him. So that's my feeling with him personally.
With game planning wise, maybe it's a combination of these things, but are you picking out plays that you think work against the Chiefs, or are you going back into the summer and even the spring, that plays that Jordan really was sharp in, and you rely on those? Yeah, I think first things first, how you want to attack the opponent. That's definitely the most important thing you want to do, and then you have to see what he does well, or what he has done well, and maybe lean on some of those things. And then that's what the week of practice is for too. We will probably do more this week, and then pull some of that stuff back to what he feels great about, what he feels excited about, what we think he'll be able to do well. So, but you definitely put the plan together. How we want to attack these guys first.
Luke, what was it like, getting Blake back in the room? And I mean, obviously it's an emergency situation, but what is that, his time here with you guys in the summer?
Yeah, he's such an unbelievable guy. Love having him in the room. Positive energy. Just he gets the game. I mean, the guy's got so much experience. The conversations you have with him immediately are just awesome. And his ability to kind of pick up where he left off when he was, since he's been back, is really cool. I mean, just a pro. I mean, truly is a pro, and the experiences he's had. Jordan will be able to lean on him. I mean, Jordan's leaning on Aaron so much, and without him in the building, I think Blake, there couldn't be a better guy for Jordan to be able to lean on this week.
Luke, could you have any moments of apprehension when, you lose Kurt and you lose Aaron, and you and Jordan are in that room? I mean, were there some nervous moments there, just not knowing what was coming next for either of you guys, or were you feeling okay?
Yeah, I didn't have any. I don't think that was I don't think those were related. I guess that's from my perspective.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I guess my first thought was, what happened to Denver was that last year, right? That would be tough for sure. But I did not think that there was any kind of connection to that, or in our room or anything like that. So.
Well, we were really seeing what kind of coach you were.
How about that? Yeah, there was a coach there that tried to get on the field right and play, and then the NFL wouldn't let him right. So I wasn't going to try that. You guys see me throw a pat and go. That's about all I got.
Luke, you have spent more time with Jordan than probably anybody, right? With all the extra time you spent.
Sure.
In what ways? I'm sure he's come a great distance from the start to now. But are there some specific ways where you've seen him really develop, either in his understanding or how he approaches the job, or some other ways like that? Yeah,
I mean, physically, timing and rhythm are so hard for young quarterbacks, especially, he played in a pretty simplified system in college, right, where everything's spread out and the plays aren't very, there's only a few plays. And so now you come into this with the challenge of learning this big playbook, and now you have to match all this footwork to each route, to each pattern, to each concept. So that takes time. And, man, in just these last 6 or 7 weeks, I've been really proud of how far he's come, and to see the way that he can kind of his feet are matching the timing of the throw and all that stuff. So that part of the physical part of it, he's come a long way. He still has a lot to improve, but he's come a long way. But like I said, the mental part of it's what you're most proud of: comfortability, ability to communicate, and ability to go in the huddle and have a lot of confidence in what he's saying and knowing what he's looking at from the defensive perspective, and then how to communicate with the guys up front on the adjustments that we have to make and that our offense demands the quarterback makes.
You bummed a little bit that Benkert couldn't get his chance, this week. It could have been a pretty good week for him in practice and everything.
For sure. No, yeah. Definitely bummed for him too. I mean, he's worked his tail off, and been proud of him, and been so grateful to have him in the room too. Because when you get these rooms, they're special, and we got a special room. I don't think anybody can deny that. We got 3 good ones. And Blake coming in, it gives us a 4th now. So yeah, bummed for him for sure. I'm sure he's definitely kicking himself and wishing he had the opportunity to do it, dress up for the game, and all that good stuff.